Hello, Monica. Have you ever heard about learning strategy training?
No, what is it?
Let me put you in context. Since the early 70s, language learners were seen to be more actively responsible for their own learning.
So, does that mean schools don't have any responsibility on students' learning?
Not at all. The main task of schools is to provide students with strategies that help them elaborate, transform, contrast, and critically rebuild knowledge. Thus, learning strategy training is the model in which students better learn a second language through the acquisition of several techniques.
Oh, I think I start to get it, Kenneth. But who researched about it?
Oh, yes. Let's go back to 1975. According to Joan Robin, an American educator, good language learners have a strong desire to communicate accurately. They are concerned about the meaning and the form of their message. They also practice and carefully monitor their own speech, as well as of others.
But what happens with the learners that are not that good yet?
Ruin observed that students who are not in the group of so-called good learners can improve their language performance if they become more strategic in their own learning approach by developing an appropriate repertoire of learning strategies.
And how can students get better learning strategies?
Well, teachers play a crucial role in making students more aware of the range of possible strategies they possess in their foreign language.
Oh, it sounds interesting. Actually, there is another educator, Anita Wenden, who, in 1985, observed that the time teachers spend in language training is as important as the time that they should spend in teaching strategies.
Oh, hence that means the learning strategy training is based on detecting the deficient sites the students usually encounter in the process of learning a target language, so those solutions could be found.
Exactly.
And the teacher helps the learners by facilitating some strategies so that they can learn in a better way and perfect their proficiency.
That's it. Now, we got it.
Hey guys, but what are those strategies?
Okay, let's explain about them. Think aloud technique. This is a research method in which the students speak their mind aloud as they complete a task. Students are asked to voice the words in their minds as they solve a wide variety of problems, from visual puzzles to reading comprehension. This helps the teacher to have a clear panorama into whether people are matching the ideas correctly or reasoning in a sequential form. This also helps the teacher to know the things they do not notice or the ones they struggle with. The teacher may also ask why they think so or why they structure the language that way. So the student tries to guess the answer rather than giving the answer directly. Then, feedback is provided and more accuracy is reinforced.
Cognitive strategies. This method involves the interaction of the learner by manipulating what is being learned. For example, replaying a word or a phrase mentally in order to listen to it again, or for instance, summarizing in a notebook. Listening or reading activity by including keywords. This lets the teacher to have the students manipulate the language through reasoning, analysis, note-taking, summarizing, outlining, or reorganizing information to develop stronger structures of the language.
Hey, that is amazing to practice in class. In fact, I just found this other strategy, metacognitive strategies. This strategy is used to plan, monitor, and evaluate a learning task. This includes making a list of the conditions that best help you learn, setting short and long-term goals, checking your own comprehension during listening and reading, identifying your own learning style, gathering materials that facilitate learning, and determining a schedule in place to study, and even monitoring mistakes in your own recording.
That's really helpful to put into practice. I got another one, guys. Affective strategies. This technique means to interact with other learners by incorporating social and emotional involvement. Examples include creating situations to practice the target language, like speaking in English during the bus ride with your classmates, cooperating with others to share information, obtain feedback, and complete a task together, like baking a cake with some classmates at your house, but only speaking in the target language, or watching together a movie without subtitles in your native language.
Wow, all these strategies seem to be pretty useful when it comes to learning a foreign language.
Yes.
Yes.
I found another strategy that may be useful as well. Memory-related strategies. This technique helps learners link one item or concept with another. For example, the use of acronyms, rhyming words, picture word association, body mimic, flashcards, or even highlighting words or phrases with specific colors on your notebook.
Yeah, that's really meaningful and won't let me forget about new words or concepts. I found this other strategy, guys. Compensatory strategies. This technique works a lot when we forget a word, but we have learned to use a synonym instead in order to complete our idea. Or for instance, when the teacher or classmate give us a clue, the first letter of a word we don't recall, and then we can remember it. So it compensates our memory blackouts.
That's so nice, guys. Have you ever heard about social strategies? Basically, this happens when you ask a question to verify information, ask for clarification of a confusing point, ask for help, for example, to a classmate, talk with a native speaker, and explore the culture and social norms of the countries in which the target language is spoken. For example, by watching documentaries or even by traveling.
Guys, I have learned a lot on how to better handle my own learning process by applying these strategies. I'm sure that if every learner applies these techniques, their level of proficiency and competence will increase quite a lot.
Indeed, they will learn how to fill their own gaps during their learning situations. Besides, teachers can better adjust their lessons to the needs and demands of the students.
That's right, Sherlyn. Learning strategy training helps the learners to really learn and not only to pass an examination, making it clear that they can only learn properly when it implies comprehension and effort. And above all, it shows them that this learning is more profitable in the future because it's lasting and functional.
That's absolutely true. Well, guys, thanks for sharing together this worthwhile information, but for now, I have to go. So, bye-bye.
So do I. Bye-bye, guys.
Bye. It was a pleasure for me too.
Same here. See you around, guys.